Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at translating word problems into equations. Now, I know everybody groans every time they see these type of things, where it's like, oh my god, word problems, I hate word problems. Well, they're not fun, but actually word problems are not fun for a reason, and that's because they remind us of the closest possible thing to a real-life example as you can possibly get in mathematics, well, at least for grade 9. So, let's break down what you would usually do. So, whenever you see a word problem, the first thing you want to do, the first thing you want to do, I'm going to write it here on the side. This is your steps. You want to underline your key words. Now, how do I know which ones are my key words? Well, the key words have to do with things that I can turn into an equation. So let's read this question. So let's go read it through once quickly, and then I'm going to read it through again. So when 6 is added to 4 times a number, the result is 50. Find the number. So, what's important? So here it says when 6, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to always circle every single number. So when 6 is added to 4 times. Now, these are important words, but also at the same time, 4 is a number, so we're also going to circle that as well. 4 times a number. The result is 50. So result, it's another key word, and 50. And they want me to find the number. Now, I'm telling you that when 6 is added to 4 times a number, first of all, do I know what this number is? No. So because I don't know what this number is, I should assign it a variable. So I'm going to call it x. I'm going to define this here as well. I'm going to say let x represent the unknown number. Okay? And that is your second step. We'll assign a variable to the unknown. In this case, there's only one unknown, so that's why there's only one variable. So let's break it down. The third step then is to make the equation. So you have to be able to understand what these words mean. So when I say added, well, added means plus. That means I'm adding two things. So the second I see the word added, I'm going to immediately draw two underlines and put a plus in between them because I know the two things are being added because there's 6 being added to something, a number. So I know there's two things when it's all said and done that should be there. Next, it says 4 times a number. So times, I know times is multiplication. Okay, so I'm saying when 6, so that's my number there, 6 is added, there we go, have my added right here already, to 4 times, so I'm going to write 4, that says times, it's a multiplication symbol, a number, and I don't know what that number is, so I'm giving it the x. The result, whenever you see the word result, that just means equals. So result equals 50. So what do we have? Well, essentially we have this equation. 6 plus 4x is equal to 50. And now it's just a linear equation that we can solve by isolating the x. Okay, so let's fill out these steps here as well. So make the equation. And then isolate for our variable. 4 steps. So I want to get 4x by itself, so I can get rid of the 6, and then I need to get rid of that 4. So remember, you want to do opposite operations. So I can subtract 6 from both sides, which is going to leave me with 4x is equal to 44, and then I can divide both sides by 4. So x is equal to 11. So my number is 11. Now, these are word problems, so in these type of word problems, you don't need to write this last step, but this last step usually happens when you have bigger word problems, and that is you make a final sentence. A concluding sentence. And these 5 steps work every single time. So let's break them down. Let's do some more examples here. So in this next example, let's do our steps. Let's read through it again and underline our keywords. So Jason and Mike are competitive with each other in making money. Jason makes twice what Mike makes. If the sum of the money they make is 27, how much did Mike make? Well, let's read through this again very quickly. So Jason and Mike are competitive with each other in making money. Did this actually help me whatsoever? Nope. So this whole sentence is useless to me. And this is actually a good habit to get into, crossing out what doesn't help you. Okay? Jason makes twice what Mike makes. If the sum of the money they make is 27, how much did Mike make? So again, I like to circle my numbers. I want to write down what they mean, obviously. So Jason makes twice. That means 2 times what Mike makes. Do I know what Mike makes? No. So that's what you would make your variable. So you want to let x represent, and this is very important to write most of the time so that we know what your variables are. You can't just write down an x without us knowing what it's representing. So let x represent, you don't really need to write the full word representation. Remember, mathematicians are not the most energetic people. We're very lazy. We like to use variables for everything. So you can write rep with a period, or you can do a nice arrow that means the same thing. So let x represent the amount of money Mike makes. So if x represents the amount of money that Mike makes, and Jason makes twice of that, that means Jason would be 2x. Okay? That's all from there. Now, we're going to make our equation. Now, I'm telling you, if the sum, I saw the word sum. The second I see the word sum, that means addition. And I like to do this ritual here. When I say sum, I like to add these 2 underlines because I know right away I should have 2 underlines. Okay? And obviously, there's another keyword I didn't underline here, is is. Is means equals. I'm telling you, that's what the result is. It's another way of saying the result. All right? So let's write these out. The sum of the money they make is 27. Okay, and I know that their 2 things are x and 2x, so I know that when I add their 2 monies together, I get 27. So let's do this now. X plus 2x, that's an apple plus 2 apples, is 3 apples. Divide both sides by 3, so x should be 9. So the question was asking how much money did Mike make? Well, Mike makes $9. You'd write that as a final sentence. Let's do this example again. You should always try to pause these and try to do these yourselves before you hear the explanation. Okay, guys? So again, welcome back. I assume you've tried it yourself. So 2 times a number, so times 2, a number, I don't know what that is, so I'm going to get that dx, subtracted means minus, from 7, subtracted from, and I'm underlining the from, and I'm going to show you why in a second, from 7 is 9. What is the number? Okay, so let's break this down. I'm not going to write down the sentence I usually do, but you guys know you should be able to write down that x represents the number. Okay, so I'm telling you 2 times a number subtracted from. The second I see the word subtracted, I know, once again, I'm going to have 2 things again. But instead of having a plus in the middle, I'm going to have a minus. Now, here's the tricky thing. When I see this from word, so I'm telling you 2 times a number is subtracted from 7. So obviously these 2 should have 7 and 2x, or 2x and 7. Where does the 7 and 2x go? Well, when it says from, that means this sentence, this part of the sentence, is taken away from this one. And if that's true, that means that the 7 should go there, and I'm taking away from it 2 times the number, which we know is 2x. Okay? That's equal 9. Okay? So now we have our equation. Now I'm going to do these some other ways. I'm going to move the 2x to this side. I'll move the 9 to this side. So that's going to give me 7 minus 9, which is negative 2, is equal to positive 2x. Divide both sides by 2. So x is negative 1. Okay. Let's go into another example. So let's read this out together again. So again, you guys should be pausing and trying these examples yourself first. The sum of a number, so sum, you want to get in your habit of a number, and 9, I like to circle my numbers, is multiplied by 2. Don't know why I put 0 there, but that should say 2. And the answer is negative 8. Find the number. Okay, so once again, see the word multiplied. This means, well, pretty simply, it's multiplied. Hey, a word that means what it means. Yay. And the answer, well, answer that just means equal. All right, so once again, I see sum. Hey, sum. Again, remember, you always want to write yourself a statement here. So number, well, number, that's x. So the sum, I'm not going to write my sentence as usual, but you guys should be writing it. The sum of a number and 9 is multiplied by 2. Now, here is the thing here. This is, I did not underline it, and this is actually very important. So what you want to do in these type of problems is you want to split it up into 2 parts. So the sum of a number and 9. Stop there. That's one thing. So the sum of a number, I don't know what that number is, and 9 is. The second I say is, and I'm not telling you what the number is. So is multiplied by 2. So basically, the second I see that is there, that is basically telling you that this whole thing, the sum of a number and 9, is multiplied by 2, which means I am multiplying the whole thing by 2. So is can also represent brackets if it's not giving you your final answer, which is not in this case, because in this case you have the final answer here. Okay, so is multiplied by 2, and the answer, so answer equal sign, is negative 8. Find a number. So now it's another thing. You got some multiplication going on here, so you want to do some Pokemon Go here. 2 has to multiply by both. You got to catch them all. It's going to give you 2x plus 18 is equal to negative 8. Okay, move things around, get your x by itself. So you're going to have 2x is equal to, you're going to subtract 18 from both sides. So you should get negative 26 minus 8 minus 18, negative 26. And then divide both sides by 2, you should get negative 13. So the number is negative 13. Let's do 2 more types of these examples, and let's hope that we get this stuff in our minds. All right, again, pause it yourself, try it yourself. You back with me? Great. So let's do it. So in an algebra test, do I really care? Nope. So, algebra test, this sentence doesn't care about me, I don't care about it. The highest grade was 42 points higher than the lowest grade. The sum of the 2 grades was 138. Find the lowest grade. Okay. Now, when I say the word higher, higher is another way of saying plus. Okay, so if I know the highest grade was 42 points higher than, I'm going to circle this with this, then the lowest grade. Now, there's a reason why I'm circling this one with a different color, and that's because when I say then the lowest grade, it's a good indicator of what I should make my variable. So, do I know what the lowest grade is? No. But I do know the highest grade was 42 points higher than that. So, I should let x represent the lowest grade. If x is the lowest grade, I know the highest grade is 42 points more. So more plus than my lowest grade, which I said is x. Okay? Once again, I'm saying sum, so once again, boom, boom, draw my underlines, plus, and I also say was 138. Was is another way of saying equals. Okay, so as before, let's fill it in. So the sum of the 2 grades, what were my 2 grades? Well, one was x, the other one was 42 plus x. So let's break this together. So I have x plus 42 plus x. So x and the x are both like terms. It's like me saying a pineapple plus a pineapple are 2 pineapples plus 42 is equal to 138. Again, get your x by itself, so subtract 48 from both sides. So you have 138 minus 42. It's 96. Divide both sides by 2. It's 48. So the lowest grade was 48. All right, let's finish our last example. Okay, so let's read this last example. This one's a little bit of a bigger one, so let's read through it. So Karen works for $6 an hour. Okay, a total of 25%, total, boom, of 25% of her salary is deducted from, these are important, taxes and insurance. She is trying to save $450 for a new car and stereos. So, or speakers, sorry. How many hours must she work to take home $450 if she saves all of her earnings? Okay, so let's break this down. I know she works for $6 an hour. Do I know how many hours she works? No. So you want to let X represent the number of hours she works. Okay? I also know that a total of 25% of her salary is deducted from taxes and insurance. Okay? So, let's take a look at this. If I know that 25% is taken away from it, so first of all, what is her salary? Well, she makes $6 an hour. So when you say $6 an hour, so she's making $6 an hour. How many hours does she work? I don't know. And that's what I put my X for, as you saw above. So this is her total salary. Okay. I also know that 25% of her salary is deducted from the taxes. So I also have to take away, so deducted, that means subtract. Deducted from 25%. 25% is just another way of saying 0.25, because remember, we can't just write down 25, we're taking 25% of it. So 25% of her salary. Should have underlined the word salary there, actually. Salary. And what is her salary? Well, we just solved that there. Her salary was 6x. Okay? All right. And basically, after all said and done, when you took away 25% of her salary and everything, she wanted to make, so make being equal, $450 at the end. All right, so we made our equation. Now let's solve this. All right. So we got 6x minus 0.25 times 6x, so obviously you want to get rid of the brackets first. So 0.25 times 6x. So you have 0.25 times 6. It's 1.5. X is equal to 450. So now you do 6 minus 1.5, which is 4.5x. I can do that because they're both x's. So they're both apples or pineapples. Is equal to 450. Okay, so x is equal to, you do 450 divided by 4.5, which is 100. So, final statement, for her to be able to make $450 after all is said and done, after she saved her earnings, she must work for 100 hours. And that is the end of this particular lesson. There is many, many more word problem examples that you can certainly ask, and I can probably fill this video with dozens and dozens of examples. But what really matters, and you can see what happened throughout these examples, is the steps remained the same. You underline your keywords, circle your numbers, represent your variable, and then make your equation. The second you make your equation, it's just a standard question where you're expanding using the stuff that you knew from before. I hope that has helped, and have yourself a great day.